Hey there, it's Brittany, and I'm back with a tutorial and the 8,000 subscriber giveaway. I know it's been a little while since we hit 8,000, but it's been busy over here, and we're already at like 8,300. I'm so excited. As a reminder, I say this every time. Once we hit 10,000, it's gonna be a crazy giveaway. But this one's actually really cool, so stay tuned to the end of this video. I'll tell you how to enter and what you will win. I'm actually gonna make two necklaces today, I think. So the other day I was going through Sam's bead box and I got these rhodonite faceted rounds, and I said, oh, you know, I have some rhodonite, but I don't know what to do with it. And Sherise reminded me that she sent me these gorgeous pendants earlier this year, and she said, you should do something with them. And I said, yeah, I'm going to do something with them. So we have a buffalo and we have a Zuni bear, and I'm actually going to make two necklaces today. So using the same colors, but they're going to be different styles. Well, maybe not different styles, but they're going to look completely different. And yes, I do need two turquoise and pink necklaces. So the first one we're going to make is, actually, I don't know if this is the first one or second one, but this is a little buffalo, a little bison. He's super cute. So he's half drilled, and I don't want to use that hole as the pendant. So we're going to wrap this today, but we're not going to wire wrap it. I did wire wrap the Zuni bear already. So you can see how I did this in several of my other videos. I kind of just was playing around and wanted to see how I would do this one. This one is 18 gauge Belon wire, German style. So he's super cute. I had to be careful with him though, because I didn't calculate for this front slope, and it kind of can come off. So I might glue that on there. I don't know. I did a lot of like kinks in the back to get it to stay. So it is what it is. He's super cute. He's adorable. I love this little bear, and I love this little bison. So for the bear necklace, I'm going to use turquoise is a relative term, turquoise color. I think this is magnesite, but this one's more green. So this one's going with the Zuni bear. And I actually found some smaller rhodonite that I had in my stash, and I don't know if it came from Sam or not. I think it might have, or it could have come from Bargain Bee Box, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to use those together. And then I actually found this really cool strand of beat up like old turquoise cubes or tubes, and these came from these were on clearance from Bargain Bee Box. I should have bought more than one strand because they're just astounding, and they are genuine turquoise. But I thought they just looked so great with this guy. So this one's going to be a little bit more shiny because we're going with gold. This one we're going to go with brass. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to start on the buffalo one. So I have a length of 2mm leather. I have a ruler right here. Let's see how long it is. So it's approximately like it's over a foot. It's about 15 inches. And I am going to create a barrel knot at the top and use a loop. Create a barrel knot at the top, making a loop, I should say. And you can use all of this leather. You don't really need to, but you know me, I cut a little bit more just to make sure that I know what I'm doing with it. And I'm just going to create a standard barrel knot, knotting over. So go a little fast here. Put my barrel knot tube, which is just a noodle bead, large hole noodle bead. You can use a straw, you can use a pen, whatever works for you. You don't have to go buy a noodle bead. And then we're going to take the bottom strand and loop over the barrel bead, over my top strand, and then we're going to go from right to left a couple times. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to do it one more time, and then we're going to come back through our noodle bead. Okay, take our noodle bead out, and then we're just going to tighten that. I don't need a huge loop at the top, so I'm going to move it down pretty far. That's more than enough. It's just we're creating the bail. So I'm just going to tighten this knot, and you might have to finagle it a little bit to get it to be the length that you want, to get the loop to be the length that you want it to be. So I have my loop like that, like so, and then we have our barrel knot, and then I am going to take my buffalo, and I'm going to put my buffalo, actually I'm going to put it this way, my buffalo through, or I'm going to surround my buffalo with, or bison, whatever you want to call it, with my leather. Okay. I'm not worried too much about the position of the loop because that can change. And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing with the longer end on the bottom this time. And I am going to create another barrel knot. You can just do an overhand knot here if you want, but I'm going with barrel knot because I really like the look for this. It's more rustic. And I am just going to go from right to left. Do one more. And we're going to come back and go through our little barrel knot tube. We're going to pull out the barrel knot tube, and then I'm going to cinch my knot up as close to my bison as possible. And like I said, it's not going to be instantaneous. You have to do some finagling, but the more you practice these knots, the easier they become. And every single time I do one, I'm like, I want it to be there, but I don't want to do it because sometimes they can get a little tricky depending on what you're working on. So there's my pendant. Isn't that cute? I will end up, I'm going to end up gluing this knot. And now I'm a little frustrated because the nice part of the knot went towards the back and I want the bison to face the left. So I might just do this while it's loose, slip him out of there, slip him around. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll cinch that up real tight. Just tighten to where you're comfortable, where you want your knot. Okay. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that just so interesting to look at? It just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. So then I have a couple different types of brass that I'll be using in this necklace, possibly some of the African brass. I have this brass, and then I had some brass spacers from Mama Bruce. Here we go. So I just have to decide which one I want hanging. I think I want these guys hanging down underneath. And then I'll just create a knot. And then I'll glue this too. I'm just going to use GS Hypo Cement in a moment. I'll glue all the knots once we're finished. I'm just going to take my pliers and pull to make sure that that's tight enough. There we go. And then we'll do this side. I don't know if I need two. Oh, I do like how two looks. And then we'll create a knot down here. You know what? I think that's a little bit too long for me. I'm going to try and move my knot up on this side and try and move my knot up on this side, and I'll be back. Okay, so I moved them up a little bit. So I'm going to use GS Hypo Cement and just kind of dot the around the knots. And just put a little tiny bit in this one somewhere. I don't need it for the top knot. And then I will clip off my overage on my leather. Actually, I want to make sure that that's pulled tight. Yep. So there's our little buffalo, little bison. He's so cute. Actually don't know the difference between a buffalo and a bison, if there is a difference, so I'll have to look that up. But I love him or her. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. All right, so now these are going to be the main beads in my necklace. I just love how rustic this is going to be. I have an idea. Let's see. Get more leather. Pretty sure this leather came from Emma. If not, I have a ton of leather from Emma, so thank you either way. But I'm pretty sure it came from her. I'm gonna cut off some long amount, I don't know. And I am going to make another barrel knot. Here's like a straw I cut. I wonder if I can, let's see. Just so you guys can believe me that you can make a barrel knot with a straw. Don't know why I have this, but maybe one day I was missing my barrel knot tube and I cut a straw. It's definitely possible. Take out our tube. And would you look at that? Just gotta tighten it. Okay, so we have our barrel knot. I'm going to put some glue on this knot so it doesn't move because I had some slippage. Okay. Okay, so I cut off the tail and I strung on my brass bead, and I am going to create a loop on the other side. So we're making like a connector out of this bead, just to give some more interest, I guess. It's not something I have to do, but is any of this anything I have to do? So, okay, so we're just going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to actually make that so that's on the bottom. Go up and around. And then through my noodle bead. Okay. And then we'll just tighten that a little bit. Sorry, got away from me for a second there. I'll put some glue in that bead, or I'm sorry, not in the bead, but in the knot. I'll let that dry, and then I'll glue that knot again once I trim it. Here's my other side. I kind of got a larger loop at the back, but I still like how it looks. This necklace is definitely rustic looking. So, okay. So I have my pendant. I have some connectors. Let's get started on the design. I think I'm going to just use bead stringing wire for this. I'm not knotting it or anything. And then we'll use these beads. And my brass. Okay. I don't know how I'm going. I could just, I think I'm gonna turn this to the side and have it go on my bead stringing wire like that. I don't think I'm going to connect it like to, I could connect, I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna see where it goes from here. So I'll take all those off. I'm just gonna take all of these off. I just love this color palette so much. Okay. I'm going to try and get the more pink ones in the front of the necklace where I can see them. And then I want my connectors. Kind of wish these beads had large enough holes for me to string it on leather and then just do knots in between. That would be so much fun. I do have brown knotting cord, but I don't think that's what I'm going for. I have some brown matte sea beads from my Yuki. I don't want so much brass in here that it's every other bead. Okay, I like that. So it's like every snugged up against every other turquoise. I like that. I just got to be careful that I make sure that I do the right pattern. All right, and then I have bead string and wire. I just kind of want to see how this can turn out here. This is so cute. I love it. It's making me super happy. This hole is drilled. Okay. Okay, so here's my tentative pattern. I love it. It's making me so happy. It's so Southwestern, just really really rustic and natural. So I want to make sure that my buffalo doesn't turn to the side like that. So I'm just gonna kind of maneuver my knot a little. There we go. Because I don't think I want it to, I don't want, like there's already so much leather going on here. I don't need this loop to be in the forefront by crimping onto it. All right, so I'm gonna cut my loop. Okay. And then I'm going to glue that loop a little bit. Or I should say the end, the stub. Set that aside while it dries. And then we have my second one here. Yeah, I like that. And then I'll do a little bit more up the back and then it's finished. It's very simple, but there are a couple techniques in here that made it a little bit more complicated. Okay, so I am going to actually really like where I'm at right now. So I'll just find a crimp bead. Okay, so I got out some antique brass crimp beads. I'm gonna slip one on my wire. Come through, and I'm just going to flat crimp this because again we're going for rustic here, and I'm not even going to use a crimp cover. So trying to find my crimping pliers. Tore this place apart looking for my crimps. So I used them on that shell necklace and didn't put them away. All right, so go ahead and flat crimp that right there. Come back through. Okay, and then I'll come off the other side. I was working on my spool, so I need to cut this off and do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to come back through my crimp bead. I want to be very careful because this bead is small enough to go inside that next turquoise bead, and then we've seen before, just have to take it apart to get it out because it won't come out, this whole thing. So I'll put this through a couple beads for leverage so we can pull on the wire. And it happened anyway. Even though I was being careful. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm just gonna make sure this is loosey-goosey enough that it's not, that it isn't gonna crimp in a straight line, but we wanna make sure that there's enough, that it's tight enough that we're not seeing gaps between the beads like we're seeing here and here. While that's normal in some cases, we don't want it, we don't want too much of it. Oh, there he goes. Okay, I'm just gonna squish. Get that flat crimp finished, and I am going to trim my wires. And we have part of our necklace complete. Super cute. I just love it. I love it so much. Okay, so I am just going to do that same pattern up the back to the length that I'd like, and then our necklace is finished, and then I'll put on a clasp. Okay, so I am going to finish off each side with a toggle clasp. And I put 4 of the rhodonite beads on the back to get it to the length I'd like. Just put on my crimp, my clasp. I don't know what happened to the end of my wire there. And then come back through. And putting the rhodonite on the end helped the crimp not go into the bead because the hole on the rhodonites are a little too small for that. Make sure we're not doing that in a straight line. Squish. And then trim our wire. There we go. There's a little bit of slack on that one, but it's okay. If I really cared, I could put on a crimp cover. And then I'll do the same thing for this side. Okay, here we have our necklace. I am in love with it. I've been meaning to do more Southwestern-y stuff because we're doing a lot of like tribal stuff and more like leaning towards African, and this is just definitely Southwestern. So I'm so happy with it. It's so cute. I will definitely include some better photos of it so you can see it, but look at how cute that is. Thanks, Sherise. Thanks, Sam. I love these beads. I just love the mix of the earthy rhodonite and the real turquoise and brass and leather, and it just looks so yummy. Oh my gosh, it's my new favorite. But like I said, we're making two necklaces here using the same color palette. This one's probably going to be a little bit easier. Going to have a little bit more flash in it. I'm using a greener turquoise, like I said, and I think the color palette on this one's going to be gold instead of brass. And I am just going to use the rhodonite as spacer beads between, because I really want the focus to be on the stones and not a metal. So like I said, this one's probably just going to be a lot easier. Like I'm just going to start stringing. These are teeny tiny, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to get everything together. I'm just going to go, oh gosh, I already started doing it wrong. I'm just going to go as long as I can with the beads that I have, and then I'll put some other beads as filler up the back. Again, like I said, this one's not really a tutorial. It's just kind of like a design to use some of the beads that my friend sent me, because I would love, this is like an art piece, that little zuni. Oh, wait, I did have something else in mind for this. I wire wrapped some little zunis that I got from Tracy. If you'd like to see how to wire wrap, I have several videos. So it's kind of going to be the same necklace, but just different design. I'm going to latch on to one of these, like crimp onto one of these, and then go up the back the same way we did with the other necklace. So very similar designs, just different executions. So I'll be back once I get to that point. Okay, so I've already hooked on one side, but I'll do the other one on camera. Just want to take a crimp bead. Got a goldy hair there, and the bottom of my Zuni bear. I think we're going to finish the back of this necklace with leather instead of beads. Same leather we used on the other necklace, but just in a different way. Okay, just want to make sure there aren't any huge noticeable gaps, but we don't want it to be straight line. Go ahead and crimp that. And I will trim. Okay, get all these little guys out of the way so we don't lose any of them. So there's the first part of the necklace. I think it's so cute. I kind of want to do, yeah, I think I'm gonna wire wrap another turquoise onto the rhodonite bear, and then we'll put the wire, or the metal, I'm sorry, the leather through that bead. I don't know what gauge this is. I think it's 22 or 24. I am going to make a wire wrap. Get our loop going. Slip it onto our little bear there. Okay. And then we'll just do a little bit of wrapping around the main wire. Do a little trimsies. My good cutters are, I think, in a different room, and I haven't gone to get them, but I am regretting that because I didn't remember how less sharp these are. Okay, so we have that. I'm gonna put on my turquoise bead. And then we'll wire wrap that on. Get that a little closer there. There we go. And then just do a few loops, or a few wraps, I should say, not loops. See beads flying in the background after I said, oh, I don't want to lose them. Okay. And I will go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. And we'll just kind of finagle that into a better looking loop there. Here we go. There we go. All right, I will do the exact same thing for the other side. Okay, I am going to slip some leather through my loop. And then I'm going to take some of that same gauge wire, and I'm just going to hold it like that. Wrap some around. Okay, like that, and then just cover that as much as I want. Okay. I am going to keep going until this is a little more solid, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've attached the leather to both sides. I have some toggle clasps as a backup, but I want to try something first, and if it doesn't work, you won't know because I won't put this part of the video. So I've tentatively put 2 brass beads from Mama Bruce on the back of my necklace, and I am going to overlap my 2 leather pieces, and this will make my necklace adjustable. So I have another length of leather. Looking for my barrel knot tube, but I don't totally need it. I think it would be helpful. Okay, so I'm gonna put my leather around my other leather. So technical. Okay, so we're gonna go like this, and we're just gonna make a barrel knot over all of, sorry, I want to make this shorter, over all of the leather and the tube together. Okay. Okay, so then we're gonna go through our tube. Pull our knot. Okay, so we have our two ends, which move freely around the knot, and then I'm just going to tighten that knot. Okay, and let's see if they still move freely. They do. Okay, so what I'll have to do is be very careful and put some glue on the knot, but not my other piece of leather. Okay, so we're just making sure that stays kind of separate, these two right here. And then this one and that one stay separate. And then we'll trim that knot once it's dry. But I am going to make a knot at the end of each one of these. Goldie's been coughing all day. Okay, I'll put a little bit of glue on each one of these. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, and I will show you the finished product. Okay, so I've trimmed my knot, my barrel knot, and I've trimmed the ends of my necklace. So as you can see, it is an adjustable necklace, and it is so cute. I love this little thing. Thank you so much to Sherise again, and I thank you for watching, and I do want to say thank you to all my subscribers, because we've, like I said, hit 8,000. So stay tuned. Watch the rest of this video. I just filmed everything that's in the kit that I'm giving for the giveaway, and I can't believe it. I'll tell you how to enter at the end. And thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye bye. Okay, so now for the 8,000 subscriber giveaway. So this is actually quite a bit of stuff. I kind of went a little nuts, but I thought it was really fun. I love you guys, so I want to make sure that whoever wins feels appreciated. So I am doing this in September, and we all know we're leading up to Halloween next month, so it's a Halloween theme. You will receive everything here and maybe a little bit more. I'm not finished, I don't think, adding stuff to this bag. So let's go through it. So just kind of, there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm pulling out of here in any specific order. So the first thing I'm pulling out are some white wood beads. You could paint eyeballs on here. You could just use them in a big chunky necklace. Of course, you don't have to use these as Halloween, but that's the theme of the box, or the giveaway. I have some acrylic painted beads, 2 different shapes, some silver on them. It's going to take a while to go through everything that's in this bag. We have 2 skull beads and 2 crossbones. They're acrylic. Spooky. We've got some acrylic like spiral beads in bright orange. There's a lot of acrylic in here, but we're going to have some gemstones and some crystals too. So then we have 2 large hematite beads. I mean, these are chunky. These are focals for sure. Very heavy. You could use them as like pocket stones or something. They do have holes. We have 4 glass beads. They're painted with Halloween colors. And whoever wins this, you have to send me pictures of what you make, because I'm like so jealous already, and I have all these beads. But I love curating mixes. We have some tiny hematite stars. I was thinking about mixing everything together, but not everybody would like that, so I just kept everything separate. We have a foot of some black acrylic chain. We have some crystal teardrops in bright orange. We have a little acrylic mix. Kind of just threw these in the same baggie because they were large. Make some pumpkin earrings or something out of those big orange rondelles. We have some links. These are metal and acrylic. Very lightweight. Perfect for earrings or necklace. 2 trillion cut crystals in purple. Gorgeous. Love those. It's one of my favorite shapes. We have, oh my goodness, I even put Czech glass in here. I'm so excited. Some red, these are vintage acrylic rounds. Then another acrylic mix. I don't know if you're into bubblegum beads or making, I think these are perfect for bracelets too. So I think some of these black beads are vintage as well. These are vintage. Very cool. Those could be focals on a big chunky necklace. Then we have, I call these like zombie beads. They look like zombie, like warfare or something. I don't know. They're really cool. They're kind of matte. Those are acrylic too. Got a little Czech owl and 2 green leaves. Some clear acrylic painted beads. And then we've got some, oh my gosh, there's so much more in here, like I can't imagine. All right, so 2 bumpy like acrylic discs. These are great focals. So giving me pumpkin vibes. Some vintage, these are from my childhood, guys. I can't believe I'm parting with some of these. Vintage moon Czech glass beads in purple. I literally can't believe I'm giving these away. I kind of want to cry, but I feel like somebody deserves them. They're so cute. Some orange glass beads. If you don't have any Halloween stuff, this is a great like starter kit. If you do have a bunch of Halloween stuff, this would be great for making like doing a blitz of your own. This is some beaded chain, so it's a bunch of different sections. So I think I put like maybe 4 sections in here with matte, matte wire loops. Oh, it looks like 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're probably like 7, 8-inch strand sections. Could do a lot with that. You can make a multi-strand necklace, several different things. Oh, a little purple Czech mix here. So we've got some purple tulips, which I also can't believe I'm giving away. Some really cool, like multicolored purple leaves and 4 bell flowers in dark purple. Like I said, you don't have to use it for Halloween, but definitely Halloween colors. It can boost up your stash if you don't need Halloween. Some black glass pearls. Another little Czech mix. Got 2 cats because it can't be Halloween without cats. I've got 2 silver metallic bell flowers. One just dropped, and then 4 little like teardrop shield looking things. So cute. You guys are getting some of my favorites. And some black and white glass beads. Give me Beetlejuice vibes. Couple charms. So 2 ghosts and 2 pumpkins. Aren't those fun? Make me so happy. And then some really vibrant purple beads, purple crackle glass. Got a couple different purples in there. Those remind me of like Witch's Brew or Witch's Potion or something. 1 yard of that metallic purple leather that I used on that Sam's Beadbox bracelet video. And there's still a lot in here. A serpentine coffin style bead. This is a gemstone. I thought that was cool. Oh wow, look! There's like a little heart in the pattern on the stone. And then 4 acrylic bow beads in green. I thought these would be cute if you had like a skull bead and want to put it on top of the skull bead or something, or made a witch or something. I thought those would be really cute. Or if you have a skeleton or something, that would be cute too. I'm going to show you some of the strands that I'm including. So I just got this black glass strand with AB. Gray glass pearls. Some neon green rubber coated beads. Some neon orange rubber coated beads. Some green, like a green Holite stretch bracelet, but I would use it for the beads. Some green bicones. Some purple glass beads. Dark purple. Oh, these are gray purplish. They might be gray. They're not purple. Some green glass. A red and black gemstone strand. So we've got some banded agate in there. I don't know what the red is. I think that it could be acrylic or glass. And then we've got some other kind of stone in there. Some purple glass pearls. And some black stone beads. An oval shape. And then I think this is the last strand, I am actually including a strand, I can't believe I'm doing this, of black Czech cats. Brittany's going crazy. She's giving away her best beads. And then we still have a bunch of baggies in here, guys. So I have some dual color crystals, rondelles, black and silver. Gosh, there's so much going on. 2 orange crystals. These are gorgeous. Some acrylic skulls with large holes, so you can put those on leather if you wanted to. Some red acrylic beads. Two little stone pumpkins. 2 boho beads in green. Two lampwork beads. These came from a curated bead box. Love those. Those are funky. Those also remind me of Beetlejuice. We have 2. I don't know. I think these are Czech, but I'm not 100% sure, so I can't say it for sure that these are Czech. And just looking at the holes, I don't think they are, but they're really cool. They're that AB magma glass bead. Bright orange. And then 4 of these neon green bumpy like fake crystal beads. They're acrylic. Some more acrylic green neon beads. They've got like, they're white with neon splotches. You could also put like a paint an eyeball on there. That'd be pretty cool. 2 bracelet bars, 2 bracelet bar beads, I should say. And gunmetal, they've got little hearts on the bottom, but they've got rhinestones on the top. Aren't those fun? Really glitzy. And then some more orange acrylic beads. Some like really, I'm not going to open these because they'll be everywhere. Some really cool dark purpley AB beads. These are glass. 2 acrylic beads, but they're really sparkly. It's taken me 13 minutes to film this so far. And 2 carved magnesite melon, like elongated melon beads. Some crystals, some larger crystals, rondelles. Some of my favorite multicolor, like majestic rondelle crystals. I love that finish. It's so pretty. Some more crystals, but they're cubes, like green and purple. Gosh, can you imagine how much jewelry you can make with this kit? You're gonna be using it for years. And you can make, you know, very sophisticated jewelry or even children's. So I still use acrylic beads on my own, like nice jewelry. So don't let acrylic stop you if you're worried about it. 2 green crystals in a really pretty shape. Isn't that pretty? Two purple crystals, like stop signs, octagons. Like a little mix. We've got some purple wood beads and purple acrylic beads with that like stardust finished on it. Some orange crystals and some round, like faceted rounds with an AB or a luster. These are one of my favorite crystal shapes. They're those black purple crystals, the orbit size. Orbits? Is that the size? The word that they were using? Anyway, I love those. I can't believe I'm giving away some of those. You know, the hoarder in me is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? For black crystal rondelles. So a little bigger. One of the dressed it up buttons that I used in the most recent, isn't that so cute? It's from Spirit Animal Collection. And a filigree. If you want to use it to glue it to that, you can do that. You can use this for like as a spider web or something. Thought that was pretty neat. And then we've only got a couple more things. Purple Czech glass mix. I think I've had this for a very long time. Lots of very cool beads in there. Some of these awesome black purple roses from Pam. Aren't these gorgeous? I just love looking into these beads. They're so cool. I gotta make something with those. I have more. These are gonna go to the winner, but I have more. Some yellow crystal rondelles. Really nice. Some green stone beads. I don't know what kind of stone. They're just probably like dyed jade or lime green. Some really big black crystal emerald shape beads. They're huge. Those would make great pendants. A little orange Czech mix. So I've got some orange flowers and 2 orange leaves. And then last but, actually, no, I've still got 4 more packs in here. Okay, some disco crystals, purple. Some star charms, 3 of them. Two really spooky spider charms. You've got fangs. And last but not least, some metal skull beads, large hole. So we've got 2 gunmetal, 2 gold, 2 copper. So I think it's a fantastic mix, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to add either some chain or some more leather to it, so it'll be a surprise for the winner. To enter, you would need to be a subscriber of my channel and like this video. I will check and when I pull the winner, and then also to enter, please leave a comment below. But in the comment, let me know what you would use some of these beads for, or what you're looking forward to for fall. So I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their day. Today is September 18th. You have until September 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to enter. I will announce the winner on September 26th. Good luck to all who enter. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay tuned for Goldie. She's super cute. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Good morning, Goldie. Hi. You just want more rubs, huh? Oh, hello, cutie. You need a haircut, bud. Get your little freckles.